Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for a truly extraordinary car actually. And this is the top of the range Toyota RAV4 XT5, a 2-litre automatic. It's on the private plate. It's actually 2006 or 2007, 56 I think from memory, but I'll double check that. But the private plate comes with the sale of the car. What makes this car special is the fact that it's just covered 23,000 miles. It's been serviced 11 times throughout that time and is in absolutely beautiful condition. So go on the front of the car first. Lights, lenses, clear, intact. Front bumper rather, generally very good. There will be, that's got to be, the odd minor sign of wear and tear on the car, even with the mileage it's done, but they are very, very minor indeed. The bonnet, I can't see a stone chip of any note in there at all. Near side of the car, really, really smooth in the panel work. Painted areas look absolutely beautiful. Near side front alloy, completely unmarked. It is extraordinary. On the black plastic here, you've got some light sort of scratch marks there. I mean, they're really light, and on the black it hardly shows, but the whole point of the video is to try and pick up on things that I can. Near side rear alloy, absolutely spot on. And come around the back of the car, bumper corners very, very clean indeed. Spare wheel as well, the actual cover not marked, quite often is the case. And then off side of the car, driver's side, again it's just incredibly clean. Offside rear alloy, again absolutely unmarked. And then this way again because it's slightly glary on the sun. And then the final alloy, again absolutely perfect. I mean, it really is in extraordinary condition, with just the odd very, very minor mark. I've parked in the shade now. It's a lovely sunny day, but the outside's bad enough in the sun, but the interiors are even worse to try and do. Back of the car just looks absolutely as new. It's incredible. Even the carpeted areas all in wonderful condition. Underneath there, you've got the extra stowage areas, but again they're all just absolutely incredibly clean. So coming to the back of the car now, I mean, the interior as with the exterior is just astonishing, and it really looks as though, and the video will not do justice, it can't, because it hardly looks as though the back of the car's ever actually been sat in. I've just been chatting to a chap there, just walked by. You can't believe the condition of the vehicle. Coming to the front now, all the door cards look like new. Passenger seats on the side again, and it just literally looks like it's just been fitted to the car. It's absolutely incredible. So finally coming to the front of the car, and finally to come to something that actually shows any wear on the car, and it is incredibly common on the RAVs. Not something we're going to do anything about, because I think it's actually right that there should be some sort of sign of wear and tear on the vehicle. Down there, hopefully you can see, the side bolts to the seat, just there, you can see tape basically across. They crack, basically. That goes brittle over time. So you get this tiny little crack, and that is the most common thing you'll see on a RAV4. You can get the likes of Chips Away and these kinds of people to do repairs, localised repairs, which are quite effective and cheap. But I just want to show this car in its original glory. So inside the car now, engine's running for this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated, as I always do. Dashboard just looks new. It's incredible. Simply wonderful, wonderful condition. And come across the pinnacle, you can see there 23,757 miles. I mean, it's absolutely a one-off, this thing. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Toyota RAV4 2-litre XT5, registered N444AJF, with a mileage of 23,751 only. As I say in all of my road test videos, the reason we do it is very, very simple indeed. We just want to make sure that if anyone's looking at this car or any of our cars online, they actually get to see the car advertised in operation. And the reason we feel it's important is simple. It's because we know to our cost, unfortunately, how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in the description and photographs, but when you get there and drive it, you find out it's got a fundamental problem that shows up whilst you test drive the car. So that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads, very close to our premises. This actually forms part of the road test route we take customers on. And the reason we do that is obvious. It's so that what I'm feeling today should be representative of what you should feel yourself if offered a test drive in a car. So coming to the car itself, I mean, it is, as you know from the walk-around video, an extraordinary car, this one. And not only in terms of the mileage, but in terms of the condition of the vehicle. Car is a start. Press the button to start the car on this version because it's got keyless start and keyless entry. Starts absolutely instantly, of course, and settles to smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge round about half, which is exactly where it should be on a RAV4 of this type. The engines are just lovely. The Japanese do 4-cylinder engines probably better than anybody. It's kind of got a zingy quality to its delivery. It's really keen to get up and rev, and it revs so sweetly. It's a wonderfully refined power plant, and it suits the auto really nicely because it's got guts to the engine as well. It's not all at the top end, so it's a very flexible unit. And of course, being Japanese, they are very, very reliable. With this mileage, it's not even truly run in yet, in all honesty, but that's by the by. Automatic gearbox, again, wonderful quality of gear selection and in terms of engagement rather. It's very slick in operation, very smooth, very sophisticated in the way it operates. And again, like the engines, have a reputation for being incredibly tough and long lasting. Notwithstanding that, you should always do the same checks you should on any automatic car, just when it's cold and hot. Just make sure you select neutral and go to drive and reverse, and make sure there's no kind of great big thunks or delays in engagement. And the gear changes on the move should be very slick and smooth indeed, and these ones are absolutely perfect. They're almost imperceptible in the way it changes gear. Steering of the car has always been one of the strengths of the RAV4 because it's always been one of the more dynamic of the SUVs. So you've got quite a small steering wheel, feels great in hand, but the steering's direct, it's precise, it's far more sporty in terms of the way it feels than some cars of this type. And of course, it feels absolutely as tight as a drum, as you'd expect with the mileage on the car currently. Track's absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Chassis of the vehicle, that bump there is a classic one. What I'm looking for on the road test, I'm just listening out regardless of the mileage of the car for any kind of clatterings or knocking noises coming from underneath the vehicle, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely silent in that respect. The chassis, again, it gives you a really good blend of being able to go through corners, flow through them very nicely with a bit of verve, but not at the expense of ride comfort, because it's a very comfortable car indeed, I have to say. It rides in a very composed manner with really good body control. Brakes on the car, just want to make sure no one's directly behind me. Give it a good shove. Really nice, powerful brakes. What I'm looking for is that good initial bite, but also that there shouldn't be any kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, and there's nothing at all. So all absolutely spot on there. So coming inside the vehicle, I mean, it is as I said in the walk-around videos, it's kind of like a time warp car because it's just so fresh in here. Cleaning can make cars look nice and clean and shiny, but that doesn't hide sort of a tired car underneath. In fact, than anything else, it in some ways actually enhances it. No squeaks, no rattles, no buzzers, nothing. It's a beautifully put together vehicle. Toyota and Honda, which we specialise in, they really know to bolt together these cars beautifully well. And what a joyful place to sit in this modern world of big screens doing everything and overly complicated dash designs. You've got brilliant visibility in the car, big wing mirrors. I can see the bonnet of the vehicle, which quite often you can't see on modern vehicles. But a big spec car, and in just beautiful condition in here. Sat nav working perfectly. Air conditioning pumps out lovely cold air, because we tried that earlier on in a nice warm workshop. Heated seats, again, all functioning exactly as they should. But really lovely, simple and easy to use. It's, as I said, a joyful departure from the overcomplicated modern stuff. Binnacle in front, it's just simplicity. Big rev counter and a speedo with its fuel and temperature gauges. That's all. The little information pod in the middle of it, and that's as much as you get, which is all you need. But it just feels ridiculously tight to drive for a car of its age. You know, I said that obviously it's done such little mileage, you'd expect it to be good, but that doesn't always tally, unfortunately. But this one certainly does. Whoever buys the car next, and as we say in the advert, it's not going to be cheap. You know, we didn't, it wasn't given to us. We paid the right money for the car, but it won't be for everybody. You know, some people will want a newer car, maybe with more mileage, and that's fine. But there's a lot of people who love, like I do, hunting out these amazing low mileage cars, and you know, and benefit from it in the long term, generally speaking, as well. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is literally just to show the car in operation, but to feedback on any issues, which is nothing at all. It drives absolutely beautifully. If you've got any questions at all, don't hesitate, do give us a call.